Hey, how you doing? It's Grampy. I'm back here at our steampunk tutorial where we have just finished up the exterior of this thing. I mean, I may have forgotten a few items. I'm sure I did. Left out a couple of details, but for the most part, we are done with the outside. And a pretty impressive display it is. So I hope you're happy. If you've built it with me, I hope you're happy with it. I think it's a pretty cool structure to build. And anyway, but now we're getting ready to, we need to finish this thing off and complete the interior. So this is the, of course, this is the upper building. And the way that we're going to navigate vertically in this thing is with just some very tried and true minecart elevators that are mechanical. There's no redstone. They're very fast and very reliable. And they take up a small amount of space. So they're pretty ideal for this. So here's where one of them is going to go from this level. This is the inside of that structure we built to support our foundation of the mega tower. So when we're inside of this, we're going to come up here to the entrance to a minecart elevator, and it is going to take us this entire vertical distance up to the first level of this upper structure. So that's where one of the elevators is going to go, and the other elevator is going to go here in our main entrance into the building. Now this is the ground level, so you can see this is the interior of this basic bottom level foundation that we built. So we're actually going to enter this thing from underground and come up to a minecart elevator here that takes us up to the first level of the other structure. But I want to do something in this video that I thought was pretty cool. So this may seem a little kludgy here. I was trying to come up with some design for how to enter into our entrance tunnel. This may not end up being it. I tried to match the basic style of the steampunk tower for this entrance. I just threw this together very quickly, so stop laughing at me. But we're going to come in and we're going to go down this set of stairs to a hallway now. And then across this chasm here is where our minecart elevator is going to go. But here's what I want to show you. If you haven't seen this yet, it is really pretty cool. We're going to build a bottomless chasm of orange fog or smoke down there. So when you walk across this, it's going to look like we're walking across a foggy, bottomless pit. And if you haven't seen it, I think it is pretty cool. And it's very easy to do. You have to dig a lot. You can see I did all the digging for this thing. And I don't know how, this is probably farther than we really needed to come out, but or come down to get the effect we're looking for, but I came down anyway. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fill the bottom layer, however deep you make this thing, fill the bottom layer with and the reason I'm using orange is because we chose the orange concrete for our for the color of our steampunk house. So we're just going to stick with that theme. So I'm going to take I'm actually going to take orange concrete powder and fill the bottom of this thing with it, and then I'm going to selectively create some lighting down here. But so I've dug down one level deeper than I thought I needed to, and then we're just going to fill the whole bottom layer with this concrete powder. You could choose something, whatever you wanted to. You could use orange wool or orange regular smooth concrete or terracotta, orange terracotta, whatever you wanted to down here. But I just want it, you want it to be orange to match the color of the glass that you're going to use, because that's what we're going to be doing, is adding layers of colored glass, and then come in at some regular interval and create your lighting here. And only need to come down one, because we're going to cover this with the carpet. So that's not a real great color match, at least in this texture pack. It might be better if you just use, the default texture pack, but I'm just going to create one of these every fourth block, like this. That'll be good enough. I didn't do the math. So, okay, guys, I'm just gonna fill this all in with orange concrete powder. I'll just do it on camera. It won't take that long. These darn bats, they're the worst invention ever. If elytra was the best, bats are the worst. I don't know if you've ever been involved in a intense mob battle inside of a cave, and you're kind of getting your lunch handed to you by a bunch of angry mobs, and then have a bunch of bats flying around that block your shots for you. It's just the worst. So anyway, there you go. We've got our bottom layer of orange concrete powder laid down at the very bottom. And now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to fill in every other layer. So we're with orange glass. So we're going to fill in a layer like this all the way. And then we're going to leave another blank layer of air blocks, and then another layer of glass. And we're going to do that all the way. Oh, I didn't. You know what I never did? Let's see how lucky I am. Not lucky. I think maybe a fix for that. So I think the fix for that is to lay this first. No, I can't do that because I can't put it right on the carpet. So the fix is going to be to lower my floor by one. So I'm going to do this off camera just because I feel like such a enormous dummy right now. I hear you laughing at me out there. But so let this be a lesson to you. Measure your depth of your build before you start laying your glass layers down. So I'm just going to keep doing the glass layers like this. I want to get enough of these done so you can see what the effect is supposed to look like. But it creates an amazing fog illusion, if you will. So you can kind of see how it's going to work with this. The more layers you do, the more effective it gets. And I think this is going to be deep enough where it's really going to look pretty amazing. You can see it just gets more and more foggy as you go up. So I don't know, the answer might be The answer might actually be just to remove this top layer and come up by one instead of going down. So let's see how that. I'm going to put stairs here, but I think that is probably okay. Anyway, yeah, that is okay because I'm gonna do it this way. This whole entrance thing might be sort of temporary because, again, I just do something. I couldn't come up with a good way to create an entrance up there. But so you can see now with this last layer, we're going to have the appropriate number of air blocks, and so you can see what this is going to look like. It looks like it's going to look like a foggy chasm that we're just walking across. So anyway, I'm going to finish all that up, guys, off camera, and I'll see you back here when we're done. And then once we have this, you know, very basic entrance done, we will be ready to, in the next video, to start our project. And we'll start off by building this first minecart elevator. So anyway, guys, I will finish all this up and see you back here when I'm done. Okay, I'm back. So I finished up the fog effect, and I'll just admit right now that I'm not loving the orange color. I've done this before with green, and green looks really good, like a sickly green fog. I've done it with purple before, and I kind of like that, but I don't know. Maybe it's okay, but I'll just tell you, I'm not really loving that orange fog effect. Now, I'm kind of embarrassed about what I've got here, but I just wanted to throw something together. This big, ugly, stark walls. I will do something about this, but I wanted to just get something down here where I could show this, because I do think it's pretty neat. So even though the orange is not my favorite, I did raise the bottom level up. When I had it all the way down as low as it was too dark down there. So I raised it up about 3 of the levels, and now it's giving it a better effect from here. But anyway, this is the way that fog effect looks, and if you like it, you know, it's something cool that you can do. If you don't like it, you can save yourself a heck of a lot of work and a lot of glass. So suit yourself. But now, without a lot of further delay, we're going to build a minecart elevator up this, right up here. This is the block that we need to build it in. So the block behind will be the block that our ladders are placed against. If you've never seen one, I'll build 2 or 3 of the levels, and then I'll fast forward to the end. But I'm going to use this. You may not like this at all, but if you take this new terracotta block of the magenta, the glazed terracotta, it has arrows. And it depends on how you place this thing, which direction the arrows face. But if you place it, if you face this direction and place them down, you'll get an arrow that points up. And for whatever reason, I got to use this for the back part of my elevator, because it just it gives you a great, even though the color is totally not cool with my with the rest of my build, don't really care, I'm using it. So this gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. So you come down and there won't be any doubt what you need to do. You'll need to run up to those arrows and use the elevator. So here's how these elevators work. What you're going to need is some ladders, some regular minecart rail, and quite a few mine carts, and then just a whatever junk block you want to use. You can use dirt, or you can use nether rack, something that is easily breakable. But you need to come up to the fourth block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and place the first minecart. So here's how we're going to do this. If you're building this in survival, the easiest way to do it is to pillar up one block on this side. Now you'll need to break some blocks here as you build your way up, but they're easily replaceable. So just pillar your way up to the top of the ladder, and then place your junk block on top of it, and place a minecart rail on it and a minecart. And you know what? This needs to be I'm sorry, but I think we need this to be one block deeper. So we actually need our wall to come to here. And we'll fix all that under there. That won't. We'll figure out how to finish that off and make it look nice. We may have to go all the way down, but for now I think we need this. Sorry, I'm kind of confused now. And then we want to come out on this side. So your junk block, whatever you're using, just pillar up, and we'll actually need to break this one, and pillar up until you're on this level. And I feel helpless here, but you want this, so the entrance to your elevator is going to be opened by 2 blocks here, so you can walk in and look up. But above that, this will be part of the wall that goes all the way up, and you need that because it will be part of the retaining wall, or the retainer for these minecarts. Because what you do after you get this block placed with a minecart on top of it is you break that block, and the minecart falls down and rests on that ladder that's right there, and you want to put the block right there to sort of lock that one in place. And then when you're in survival, what am I think I'm really missing something. When you're in survival, this is the distance that you can enter into a minecart from below. So anyway, gosh, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. Now, from here on out, we want to place this, so when you're counting, you're going to count this block right here that is, I think it's a little dark, sorry. I can never remember that. Let's get some torches. So you're going to want to count, and then get your ladder. Darn it, I lost my ladder. So you're going to want to count that one and count to the 4th block. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to place the next ladder on block number 4. So counting the one that the minecart is actually in, and then 2, 3, 4, and place your ladder there. That's the distance that you'll be able to. That's the distance that you'll be able to achieve the next. Be able to go up into the next minecart. So then build this wall up and put your temporary block there, and do the whole thing again. So the rail, the minecart. Break that block, and then follow that pattern again. I'll do it one more time. So you count 1, 2, 3 on the 4th block. We're going to put our ladder. We're going to pillar our way up to here and place our temporary block, build this up to that level. Rail, minecart, break that block, and then build that block in to trap it in. So just going to keep going until you're up at the top, and hopefully the spacing will work out okay. If not, you might have to just shorten up. Well, let's just go ahead and build this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you may have to shorten up a few to make the spacing work out right. See if that happens to us here. Hopefully it works out okay. And we'll fill these spaces in just so whatever, we can just leave them, put a light in there so mobs don't spawn. 3, 4. I think that's going to be too high, isn't it? Yeah, that's on the, well, no, that'll be fine, because we'll put a layer of slabs around here. So here, let's go. And then when these, I don't know if you're familiar with these, but the way they work, they're very fast. You just, when you're going up, you just hit the use key, your whatever you use for a use button, your right mouse probably. When you're going down, you just fall through, and the ladders catch you in your fall. And okay, so let's see how this works out. We'll put our temp block there with a rail and a minecart, and that'll drop right down. Now what we're going to do is actually surround that thing with some slabs, just some regular stone slabs. Now if you bump it, it'll get out of position, and you may not be able to, you might have to replace it, but it already has. So I'm going to nudge it over here a little if I can. See, they're pretty tricky. You need to really get them captured. I'm going to have to replace this one. So, darn it. Sorry. Place that block there. Break its block. And get your slabs placed as fast as you can. Now that'll hold that in place. And we can do... So now the floor of this thing will be at this height right here. We'll use whatever wood we want to, but I just want to get that. I'm a little worried that when you exit the minecart, you might hurt yourself. So to go down, you just walk into it and fall through. And to go up again. Now the best thing to do is put a block in your hand that you can't place when you're going up. Because if you do come up, you will place a block. Now when you exit, you just hit the shift key or whatever key you use to exit boats and mine carts and stuff. And you might have to walk against the ladder, so keep track of where your ladders are. And you may need to like walk forward against that ladder to come out. So we're okay. We didn't suffocate ourselves on the ceiling. That's what I was kind of afraid of. So anyway, there you have it. And now we're going to begin the interior of this space here, but we'll do that in the next video. So sorry this was a bit disorganized, but at least we got the bottom tunnel entrance and the first minecart elevator done. So we'll start in and start building the interior spaces in this lower building next time. See you then. Thanks for watching.